quote by Ludwig van Beethoven. And long ago he said that music is a higher revelation than all wisdom and philosophy. Since the very beginning, we have all enjoyed some kind of entertainment, specifically music. And I want to focus on the origin of the flute and how it has changed through time from its appearance and the way it sounds. A quick fact also was I found was some of the famous people that have played the flute were Leonardo da Vinci and George Washington and also James Madison for like a brief time or maybe professionally. I've been researching this topic for a couple weeks now, and I've also 8 years of experience playing the flute, 5 years playing the recorder, shown here. 4 years playing the piccolo, which is just a smaller flute and basically the same fingerings, and 2 years playing the native wooden flute, which is over there. That little gadget on top by the mouthpiece is like a little wooden block. It can be wooden or plastic. You insert it on like a hole, and then you tie it around with like pieces of leather, a strong fabric, so it doesn't move, and it's used for the pitch that you want to hear. And all these instruments are branches of the flute family shown here. I'm very sure that everyone here enjoys listening to some type of musical genre that maybe may not include the flute, but before music, including the flute, was like music of choice. So today, I want to outline for you the evolution of the flute and show you how the material and its uses and the sound has changed through different cultures and time periods to give us the flute we have today. Before I show you one of the first flutes, I want to show you the flute, how it looks today, and to make sure that you can see the change through time. Here it's most likely probably platinum or steel, and they kind of dip it in silver to make it really shiny, and you can see the little mechanical rods that it has there to move the little keys. In contrast, one of the first flutes came from the Stone Age and were most commonly found in Eastern Europe. Stone Age flutes or bone flutes were made of bone or wooden tubes, reindeer foot joints, and also the people that used them bore into the bone to make the little fingering holes. According to professional flautist Jerry Rizzo, she says that they were primarily used from shin bones to create the flutes. Next, the Egyptian ney was made of bamboo or mile reeds. It was used in the time of pharaohs, and they had a weird embouchure, which is the way you play the flute. It's played on the side right here, shown by the guy right there. It's technically an end-blown flute, which means that you insert something through the nile reed, and then you just kind of blow out whatever is inside to make it hollow, so the air can flow through. Next, the medieval pan pipes. You guys are probably familiar with this from the Greek mythological god Pan, which is over there. He's sometimes shown playing the syrinx reeds, the two little flutes, and it has 3 different names: the pan flutes or the pan pipes, which is shown here. The story behind the Greek god Pan is that he's a little half goat, half man creature, and he chases around nymphs, which are like goddesses of the forest. And one day he was chasing, I forgot the name of the nymph, but he was chasing her, and they were kind of scared of him because half goat, half man. And she went down to the river, and she asked the river god to change her into something to get away from him. And so she was transformed into reeds, and he got the reeds and he bound them together. And nowadays you see like bindings like up there to put the reeds together, or they're like little wooden pipes. According to Douglas Bishop, who was the creator of the world's first free online course of video classes for the pan flute, it requires no finger holes, and it's difficult to play because it's blown across like a bottle. It's made of reeds, river cane, bamboo, wood, bone, ceramic, and stone. Today, people most commonly see flutes only being played in orchestras at your local high school, marching bands, but before they were used for playing songs to entertain courts or playing musical poetry, etc. In the Stone Age, from the bone flute that you saw, were used to ward off evil spirits of hostile forces, and it was also the instrument of the fertility spell, which meant that it was used to play for women to conceive a child. In Egypt, in the time of pharaohs, the ney is what it was called. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. From the Egyptian instrument, it's called the ney. It was mainly used by prostitutes to entertain their lovers. In the medieval era, music was extremely important to the royal courts, and playing the panpipes was a requirement if you wanted to join in courtly love. Knights were required to know how to play as well as fight. Most commonly used by the troubadours, which is a French medieval lyric poet composing and singing in Provence, which is a region in France, in the 11th to the 13th centuries, especially on the theme of courtly love. And also in the Christian era, the voice was preferred. The voice was a preferred musical instrument because of all other instruments were considered to be pagan, which was technically a person without any religion, a heathen. The flute could only be preserved by the people through tradition. And lastly, for my third point, for every kind of flute, ney or bone flute, comes a very distinct and unique sound, just like they are unique in physical appearance. I'm going to show you the types of music that were heard from these different instruments. This is the Neanderthal bone flute music. This sound is made from most likely the femur of a cave bear, and it's pretty high-pitched because of the bone. It's not very thick, and it's very easy for the air to pass through and reverberate through the fingering holes. Here's the next one. Second, the Egyptian ney has a softer, darker sound from this flute because of the material that it is made of. Most likely bamboo, which is thick and it takes a little longer for the air to pass through. Lastly, the panpipes. It's a lot more range than the other two due to the ranging sizes of the pipes, and it could create a high-pitched or darker low pitch. Today I've outlined the different materials used to make different flutes and how each of them are used throughout different periods and cultures, and have shown how each different sound. In close, this was a brief evolution of the flute, and hopefully now you can have more of an appreciation